If I was to ask you who is a person you admire, who would that be? That's a question I often ask my friends and I ask other people. Who's a leader you really admire? And there's one name that comes up pretty often. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pi, our weekly series of videos where I try and share simple lessons and stories that can help each of us become just a little bit better. Nelson Mandela, that's a name that I hear a lot of leaders mention when I ask them about a leader they admire. And there's a lot to admire about Nelson Mandela. I want to tell you a little bit about Nelson Mandela and why I personally also think of him as a great guy. Flash back then to the 10th of May 1994. That's the day when Nelson Mandela became the president of South Africa. After 27 years in jail, after struggling for 27 years and wondering if he would ever be a free man again, his turn came. And as apartheid became a thing of the past and a democracy came into South Africa, Nelson Mandela was sworn in as president. That in itself would have been quite an event. But for me, what made it special was the fact that sitting on the front row while Nelson Mandela was being sworn in as president were three people, three very special people in the front row. Think about it. What a powerful idea that is. When Mandela became president, I'm sure a thought on top of his mind could have been revenge. I must avenge those people who kept me in jail for those 27 years. I must get my own back. That's not how Mandela thought about it. He was trying to say, how can I build this country with a mindset of reconciliation? Reconciliation and not revenge. And what better way to do it than to have those three jailers sitting right up front? I think that's something that we can all learn to do. A lesson from Mandela. Learn to forgive. Don't carry that grudge. You might have a reason to feel wronged. You might feel someone's been unfair, but don't carry that excess baggage. It'll only slow you down. Try and be a Mandela and try and forgive. Let it go. And you'll suddenly discover that you're building towards a better tomorrow, a better future without the baggage of the past. So think reconciliation, not revenge. And if Mandela could forgive those three jailers, how tough would it be for you and me to forgive that colleague or that friend or that relative who you might have felt was unfair to you or said something which hurt you? Just let it go. Be a Mandela. That's all in this week's edition of Chai with Pi. I do hope you enjoyed listening in. Enjoy your chai. And of course, remember to forgive that person.